Look at this. Anybody disagree? Like Craig was saying yesterday, I think there's a big one here. You know, there's generally, that's not supposed to be. But just for the term of this class, we'll go ahead and just say this. There's two options here. You leave a little more distance, or you take out maybe a grout. You cut a grout line. We've done this more and more. When we first started doing it, we were putting them together, and I would just, with a Sharpie, I would just mark out and say, I'll make this a rock, that's a happy face, then make it a frown face here, and then maybe do the same here, and just augment the rock by both actions, the cut and the mud. Here we just chose one action, that's just mud, adding, and it didn't work. So it would stand to reason that it would be better to cut and mud. Get that broken. This joint here became broken, but I mean, we could argue, opinion, is this a odd-looking rock, or is that just me?
No, it's odd-looking.
In comparison to the rest. So we were thinking last night that was pretty good. Now you get back in the morning and generally step away from your work from the farthest vantage point, and you kind of critique it and you say, well, all right, guys, just stain it. No, we you know, this is what we've got to be. This is what separates a novice from a craftsman. Is if you see something like this and you go ahead and texture it today and stain it tomorrow, you're not going to go places. You've got to refine your installation. So we'll leave that. Right now we're just going to pretend like all the rock's good. And unfortunately, as I said, Concrete Decor is going to be here. And when they photograph this, I'm just going to go, you know, that way they don't see that consistent straight line. Maybe I can have one of you stand over here, you know.
But what's the difference in this rock really and something that's oblong? Or something?
See, what I stated was opinion. In my opinion, it wasn't right. And you're saying, Jim, it looks perfectly fine to me. Again, I respect that.
That notch on the bottom right there.
Huh?
It'd make it look a lot better if it wasn't just that notch there.
You mean right here?
Yeah. It'd make it look a lot more like those rocks.
That's
Again, just a little refinement. Right now, we've got a lot of hair. We're talking about texturing. Jake, as soon as you can, let me know when you're available. And then, actually, probably, is Tanya here today? Do you have to be up in the office? Okay, good. So then go over and get Marcos probably, and he can help. We got the shop vac. We're going to do a little grinding in here. Usually I get the guys, if we're going to grind inside, shop vac on one side of grinder, shop vac on the other side, and one guy grinding. So it's only a 3-man operation. So usually we're outside doing this, and I wouldn't even have to have a grinder at all, but I do want that provision here just because I don't want to dust bowl this. I don't want no dust on that. It's sealed, but still that stuff will stick like a magnet. Anyway, we're going to grind this down and then texture it and get it to where it's ready for stain. Tomorrow, we're staining a lot of rock here. I don't know if you know this table. So this is a jig that we set up in order to stain this spa unit. There's a designated spot for each piece. You guys are going to witness the rapidness of a professionally done stain job, how fast it really can be. And that's, I thought, I'll let you have other places to stain that'll give you that practice, but I wanted you to see it done quick. And you know, funny thing is, a couple of colors too. Was it 6? 6 colors. This is, you know, actually, this is the exact same format that we use here. This is 6 colors. This is wild stuff here. Now, that's a good color. Now, I don't mean to lose humility here or to not have humility, but I'm telling you, this is a good stain job. Why do I have to tell you? Would you say it's a good stain job? Huh? This is randomized. It's naturalized. It's got what looks like a lot of stuff happening, and it's real simple. So, you know, we want that ability, and I say we, well, I'm talking about all of us here now. When you guys leave here, when you go forth, you have to be able, in my book, to stand next to any person in this industry and stand next to them and say, we're just as good, if not better. In our industry, not only is the formation odd, the texture is bad, the staining is horrendous. Poor. And I'll tell you what, you take a 5-gallon bucket with a little bit of Hydro Seal on it, I can make it look like someone cut it out of granite. Or it looks like somebody carved it out of rock and it was a bucket. You say, that's not plastic, that's got to be rock. That's what you've got to be able to stain stuff that good. And that's what we're after, so. Huh? You got it? All right, we're going to go ahead and just lightly grind this to get the hair down. Nothing major here. Again, we also have an ability to do this without grinding at all by just texturing over it. Well, the torch isn't going to do it. It's not going to remove it all. It's still going to be real bumpy. But what I was getting at was our texture application can go right over the top of that. It just uses more. And then we could talk about the stamping aspects of texturing. What I want to do with this grinder, believe it or not, one of the first things I'll do is I'll stick it into the grout joint and plane that grout joint, if you want to call it that, and just work down. That's the first step, just to define the grout joint. And then from there, coming out of the grout joint and rounding off. Someone want to grab a vacuum on that side? You can stand on this side too, John. On the wrong end. Pull it out. It's in here. That doesn't make sense here. Hold on. This shouldn't have a hole in it. Does it? Oh yeah, I guess it would. Okay. Turn on. Is that in there?
No, it's not.
That'll stop in a second here, I hope. Something ain't right there. Come real close. I'm not even getting in there. Try this. Come closer. Come closer. That's good. Go ahead and go. All right. Hey, you guys in the back, if we can, because you're going to have sound over on here. All I did was just kind of knock it down. It's not like you're trying to smooth it out like a polishing. It's just knock it down. In fact, you see the bumps in here. It's not a bad thing. It's in all this rock, and our texture can overlay it. So that's all you've got to do is just knock it down like that. Or we're going to take, because I don't want all this dust in here, I'm going to take the torch, we're going to burn it, and then we're going to just texture over it using texture. We're going to use more texture this way, but we're going to eliminate the grinding. Right, Sky? What you can do is do some of this. This may not be set up enough to, you can knock it down with this in a very dust fashion, less dustless fashion, and get enough down. I would probably suggest burning, then doing this, and you'll have it to where it's knocked down enough. The issue is we don't want hair sticking out of the mud. That's all you're really after.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we'll just keep the camera back a little.
Well, we can sand that off.
I'm just messing with you, man. I like being funny.
Haircut? Put your hand back out once in the oven. Gas oven. Whoosh. Scared the crap out of me. Put your
Let me see that.
Must have been over trying to light it. They looked up blue